Hi everyone, welcome to another show. Let's turn my volume up a bit. Alright. Let's get things working properly here first. Okay, hopefully this is still working alright. You'll have to let me know if you've got a problem with volume or anything. You can use the chat to ask me any questions. Just type in the box on the right and I'll show you what I've been up to. So the last couple of days I've been working on these paintings. Let me just get back to my camera. Right, this is yesterday's. Camera doesn't seem to be working. Okay, great, we've finally got the camera working. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what quite happened there. A few technical issues to begin with. Right, here's yesterday's painting that I worked on. It's called Forget-Me-Nots, obviously. And I just wanted to show you what I've been working on the last couple of days. And I'm going to finish off the edges of these ones on today's show. And also start today's painting for my 100 Days of Painting project. And this is the day before. This is Country Bouquet. Sorry, the lighting's not great, guys. That's a bit better. I used the Primo paper flowers for this one and put glitter centres in them, which often feature in my paintings. So I'm going to finish off the edges. I always paint them black. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to start on my painting for today. Still trying to decide what canvas to use today. I've got an idea of what painting I like to do, so I'm just going to get on with painting the sides first and then go from there. If you've got a question for me, you can type it in the chat box and I will respond on the live stream. Hello to my 2 viewers. Hopefully as the weeks progress I'll have more of you to chat with. It'll be really fun. And so I'm just going to get started painting these sides. I still plan to do this every Tuesday. I won't be here next week because I'll be on holiday, but I'll continue the week after that. And it's going to be a weekly show, late morning, every Tuesday. So I hope you'll come and join me. do let me know if there's any problem with the audio or the camera. I'm still quite new to this live streaming on Ustream and getting used to how it all works and everything, so there might be a few hiccups along the way till I get really used to it. But I'm really glad that I can be sharing my painting process with you, and hopefully I'll have a new camera soon so you'll be able to see it even better. If you've got any painting, art or art business questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. It'd be great for me to have some things to talk about with you. So the paint I'm using for the sides here is just a black. I'm using Amsterdam Expert Series acrylics. I normally use golden, but I ran out of that and thought I'd try this one instead, and so far I'm really liking it. The consistency is really good. It's quite a thick liquid acrylic. It's nice consistency for doing things like the edges, and I use it for doing the eyes on my animals as well. That's mostly what I tend to use black for, other than sheep faces or eyes and the edges, and that's about it. I use brown for shading normally, mixed with other colours. So I usually do 2 coats of black on each side. And these are actually birch plywood canvases. I got them from Jackson Art for all you UK watchers. Very reasonably priced and good quality. So unfortunately I've run out of this size and depth of canvas, because I was going to do today's painting to match up with the other two, this one and the Forget-Me-Not one, but I don't have any others the same depth, so I've got one that's thicker, but it's still 4x4, and well, that's all canvas, but that's a 5x5 I think. So I might be doing a little mini series on canvas board, or I've got a wooden heart shape, or the thick birch plywood. So I need to decide which one I'm going to use. I may do the small canvas boards and do one today, one tomorrow, one Thursday. I'm just going to check the chat, see if there's any questions. It'd also be really cool if you would let me know the kinds of paintings that you'd like to see me do. Most of my stuff is pretty country inspired, spring inspired, floral, animals, that kind of thing. I'm thinking about adding more dogs to my paintings as well. If that's something that you would like to see me do, then let me know. And if you don't know what my 100 Days of Paintings project is, basically at the end of January this year I started a project called 100 Days of Paintings, and literally I've been doing a painting a day for the last couple of months, the last few months, and I do it Monday to Friday, have the weekends off, and then I had a week off for Easter, but other than that, I've been doing it every day, and we're up to 54, I think, today. 53 or 54. So over halfway now, which is really amazing. It's gone so quick, and it hasn't been an easy challenge, I must admit. I knew it would be tough because I'm not used to producing as much work as this in such a consistent way, so that was a good challenge for me because that's what I wanted to achieve. And you know, becoming inspired to do that many paintings at once is also a challenge, but it's been really good for me, and now I want to keep going really, because it's such a good discipline to get into and you create such a great body of work. So we shall see what happens when we get to the end of 100. I would definitely like to continue if I can. But for now we've got 40 odd paintings still to do, so I shall keep going. Next week I'll be off on holiday, so I won't be doing any paintings then. But I'll carry on after that, because next week, 1st of May, the end of next week, is my birthday, so we're going away with Ellie and going to enjoy some beach time, which should be great, and much needed rest. And then I'll be back after the bank holiday, so it'll probably be the Tuesday that I start back the following week, and that will be a video day. Also, if you missed the live stream, or you want to watch it again, or you've missed previous ones, you can watch them either on my Ustream channel as recorded videos, or you can also watch them on my YouTube channel. So that's pretty cool. I like that feature that Ustream offer, that you can do that. You can also leave comments on YouTube for me, and also you can share the videos as well. I'm pretty sure you can on YouTube anyway. Right, so that's the first one done with the first layers. So now we'll do this. Oops. Butterfingers today. Just checking to see if there's any messages. Right, let's paint the first layer of black on the sides of this one. So this is the Forget Me Not painting. I hope you can still hear me all alright. I keep worrying that the sound's not working. I think it is. Just making a few adjustments to my camera so you can see a bit better. I'm having to do it really close up so you can see the detail. My camera is only small, so I might have to try some different positions to see if I can get a better view for you. So it looks like there's a slight lag on the actual stream, so I'll keep that in mind for future broadcasts. If you have a question, please type it in the chat box and I'll be able to answer it for you live, hopefully, if it's not too hard. So any of you viewers out there got a dog? We've got a Dalmatian called Ellie and she's 7 and she's just gorgeous. She's smaller than a normal Dalmatian and she's brown liver spotted as well, so she's really different from the others, and yeah, she's just gorgeous. She's very independent, knows what she wants and likes her home comforts definitely. She's not content to have her own bed. She will only sleep on the sofa with us when we're sitting watching TV in the evenings. And she can be a bit of a monkey at times, but she's so gorgeous. I keep thinking about getting another one really, but we'll have to wait and see. So last week I started on another painting, not for the 100 days. That was something to go on the website once I've finished it. And it's a really big piece actually, well, big for me. I don't normally go for pieces as big as that. I think it's 11 by 16 maybe. I'll show you in a minute. I sketched out another angel and wanted to do some different hair on her this time, because I normally do long flowing hair, and this time I've done it so that she's got like a braid falling sort of down her shoulders, so that'll be different and interesting to try and paint as well. And it's going to be a floral one, so I'm going to draw and paint lots of flowers, different kinds of flowers on there. And I've added some collage paper for her dress, so lots of work still to do on that one, and I might do some of that on a stream, or I might do an impromptu stream for that later on. Not today, but another time. So I'll show you that once I finish these and see if we can get a good view so you can see the whole thing properly. So I'll tell you a bit about my background with art. I actually started out doing beeswax and caustic art years ago, and sort of did a bit of abstract sort of paintings with that, sort of fantasy, fairy kind of stuff, which then progressed on to doing folk art crafts, and I used to be called Cinnamon Creations in 2014, 2004 even, and I created all different home decor sort of things, and embroidered pictures with sort of angels and sayings and things like that on it. I did pillows as well, and sprays and potpourri and all that sort of thing, and really wanted to be an artist, really wanted to paint and get back to that, because I used to draw portraits and all sorts of things when I was a teenager, and did it in college, and then I sort of drifted away a bit and lost my confidence with it, and then just had that longing there the whole time to want to get back to it, and so I started off doing some folk art, little crafty things, learning sort of how to paint and doing whimsical sort of things, and started taking online classes, learning mixed media. That was the next transition, all the mixed media stuff, and then I basically evolved into what I'm doing now. Learned how to paint, learnt shading in my own style, learnt how I wanted to draw things, and yeah, basically evolved from there. So it wasn't until about 2007 when I started painting professionally, and been doing it ever since. So welcome to the viewers out there. I hope you'll enjoy this show. It might be a bit slow going at first, but please bear with me, and as I get used to doing all this, and it'd be great once you start to chat in the chat, and that'll give me some other things to talk about as well. So here's the painting I was telling you about. Let's see if we can get a good view of that. Let me adjust the camera. Right, might have to move this a bit. Okay, so it's quite a big piece. As you can see, it's in its very early stages. I plan to sort of put flowers all around here, and here's a braided hair that I'm gonna do, and their wings, so that's going to be a nice big project for me. And those are the two that I've painted in the last couple of days. So put that aside, and I'll just quickly show you the beeswax mixed media ones that I did last week. Okay, this is the tea time one. It's actually on a plaque, a wooden plaque, as you can see. I need to stamp the back of that. I had to play with all my mixed media supplies, and a bit of nostalgia for me, going back and having a play with all those things and using different layers again. And don't know if you can see, there's beeswax on there, and there's a few stars embedded in it as well. I don't know if we can pick that up on the camera. I don't think you can see them, but they're embedded there. They're like holographic stars. So that's that one. And then this is the one that I did before that, Home Sweet Home one. This has also got beeswax and embedded stars in it. I don't know if you can see them. That's that one. And I stamped the letters with rubber stamps, and it's got collage papers and all stamping and things embedded in there. So that's that. So now I need to get cracking on today's painting. So these are the canvases I've got to work on. There is a heart, and I've got these little canvas boards. These are 3 by 4 inches and made by Jackson's Art. Pre-primed canvas boards. And I also have this Tintoretto this is a deep edge birch plywood canvas. Bring the camera off a bit, and you can see it's a lot thicker than the other ones. So I've got that, those, or that one to choose from. Now I really wanted to do another jug of flowers, probably with roses, so I might do the 3 canvas boards and then I can do them over the next 3 days. I think that would make the most sense, as the other one's too chunky to match in with the other 2. And these kind of paintings will look great in your country kitchen. So I'm in a sort of flower mood at the moment. We've been getting back in the garden and moving things around, planting roses and moving some strawberries into pots. We had raised beds, and I want to put a greenhouse in. I've got a little one that my husband made me, but I want to have a bigger one that I can actually walk into, because I love growing plants from seed. So I'm hoping to get that for my birthday. And so we were clearing the beds to make way for that, and I'm growing things in pots instead. So got flowers on my mind at the moment. I've sown so many seeds this year. I usually do way too many each year anyway. And I've got chrysanthemums, geraniums, daisies, pink ones, lilac ones, sunflowers, what else? Asters, dahlias, the single head dahlias, and another one that I'm not quite sure the name of that is pretty pink flowers, and also busy lizzies. I think that's all. There's about 10 trays in the greenhouse, so I'll have loads, which is good. So I'll have plenty for our own gardens, and then I usually end up giving lots away as well, which is nice. So this is today's canvas. So I'm going to do, all 3 are going to be jugs of flowers. So I'm going to do them similar, I think, but with maybe with different flowers in them. So I'll start off with the middle one today, and then I can work on the other 2 later on. So let's just check the chat. Welcome to new viewers. So let's see, I'm going to put in the table, and draw in the jug. This is going to have to be a narrow one to fit the space, and make sure we've got a nice area of white space on either side. and enough room to put plenty of flowers. I always start with a rough sketch and then add in the details as I paint, especially on the smaller pieces. So let's see if height wise that's okay. Let's put in some stems for the flowers. I think that'll be alright. So what colours shall I use this time? Now if I'm going to have them all the same, I think I'm going to go for a nice off-white colour. I think I'm going to go for the linen, similar to the Country Bouquet one, and I add in a touch of brown for shading. So I'll put in the background first, and then we can get on with the actual flowers. Now I'm going to use this brush. This is a watercolour brush. This is what I use for all my paintings because they're really good for blending. So let's put in the background, the first coat. Don't worry too much if the pencil smudges a little bit. You can get pencils that don't, but I don't worry too much about that. It'll be covered up with the paint later on. A thank you as a little mention to Dee Dee on her Inkwell channel. She kindly let me share my link the other day, and now I have a few new followers, so I'm really grateful to her for that. Thank you very much, and hopefully the channel will grow and there'll be more of you out there watching and helping me answer, helping me with asking your questions so that I can have things to talk about with you as well while I paint, and that would be really great and make it more fun for you and me, and it'd be great. So this is my only second show, so things are very new still. So let that dry and be working on the table. So I'm going to use this colour, Driftwood. This is a nice grey-brown colour. Most of my palette tends to be a kind of vintagey, shabby chicy kind of palette, because that's really what I'm drawn to, and I think also that kind of style is very popular now. People enjoy those sort of colours for their country homes, so that works out really well. I just think they're very calming and pretty and go with most things, so it's good. So I'm just going to give that a quick blast with my heat gun to dry it off quickly. This is just a crafter's heat gun. This one is by Dovecraft. And let's see if I can show you. It's like that. I think it's mostly used for like embossing and things, but it's great for getting acrylic paint dry even quicker, so you can get your layers down. So we'll go in with the table colour again. Welcome to the new viewers. Thank you for joining me. We're working on a country painting of a jug of flowers. I'm going to do a matching set of 3 in the next few days. I'm just streaming today's one. I've got 2 other blank cotton primed canvas boards to use for those as well. So I'm just laying down the base colours at the moment. So now I'm going to go in with my shading colour, which is earth brown craft paint. I use this for a lot of my shading. It's a really nice soft colour that can be mixed with other colours to give a darker shade. So just putting in some shading on the table area there. And just see if there's any comments. Right, we need to go in with another layer of the background now, so I'll turn that up the other way so it's easier to get to. We're using linen for this, and I'm going to add in a few other colours to give it a bit more interest. Let's get down the second layer. I always work wet in wet, so that will give you some nice blending when working on backgrounds. First of all, I laid down a solid colour and let that dry, and then the second layer is when I add in other colours with another layer of this main colour, and while it's still wet. So I think I'm going to add in pink or blue. I think we'll go for blue. I'm going to go for sky blue. And just add in a tiny bit here and there. Blend that in. And then I'm going to add in a bit of brown as well. And then I'll go in again with the linen to just blend some of that in a bit more, so it stands out too much at the moment. This is all still wet. You don't want to completely mix the colours all in together, but you do want to soften them out so that they don't look silly, basically. So as you can see, it's blended in, but it's not in your face kind of thing. So I'll let that dry and then I'll be working on the jog for the flowers. So I'm going to do that white. So I'm going to use a smaller brush, still a watercolour brush. And go in with the first coat, which is probably difficult to see since the canvas board is white already. We're just going to lay that in. I'm not going to paint this part white because that will be in shadow for where the hole is in the jog for the flowers. So we'll do that next. That's the first layer in. I think I'm going to dry all of that before I start working on the next bit. Okay, so that's dry. So I'm then going to go in with my even smaller brush and put in the inside part of the jug where the hole is in a watered down brown. And then I'm going to go back in and do the jug and put in the shading. So we go back in with the white. And in the meantime, I need to be thinking what kinds of flowers that I'm going to put in. Now, this morning I was thinking it would be roses, so I think we'll start off with roses and then I might do different ones for the other ones tomorrow and Thursday. So I think I might do pink roses for this one. Right, so we've got a white second layer in. Now we're going to put in some shading. So I'm going to use, let's move stuff out of the way. I'm going to use this golden acrylic Titan Buff. This is one of my go-tos for shading, and I use it for skin tones as well. So I'm going to put in some shading along the edges. This is a thicker paint, so it's a little bit harder to blend. So I'm going to put in that, and then I'm going to go to the brown, the earth brown. And go on top of that. Don't worry if it looks a little bit too dark at the moment, that's fine, we can lighten it up. Get rid of that little edge there. So then what you want to do, if it's starting to dry and you want to blend it more, wash out your brush. And then leave it kind of damp, not too wet. And then go in and blend it, and see that's a bit too wet. It's got a puddle there, so just dry it off a bit more. And then go in and you can blend it. And if you find that it's too watery, you can go back in and get a little bit more paint on your brush and blend it in a bit more. A bit more brown. Wash your brush out again. And then go back with the white and just blend that highlight in a little bit more. On the other side. That's too wet, so just dry it off a bit more. You can take up the excess water with your brush, as you've got a watercolour brush. Rinse it and then dry it properly. And then go back in with the white. There we go. And maybe need to go over that handle a little bit more. It's still too wet. So just there we go, it's a bit better. Right. So we will dry that off with the heat gun. That's now dried off, so now we can work on getting in the flowers. So this is the bit where it starts to come together. So we're doing roses today, so you really want it to sort of spray outwards, so just do some rough lines of where you think they're going to go, that sort of fashion. And we want some leaves. So unlike my other paintings, which the foliage was more like daisies, is thinner, you want to make sure you've got in some leaves for roses. You don't have to worry about drawing on the thorns, but you want some nice leaves in there, and then we'll draw in our roses. And we'll draw in the little bits that go underneath. And then we'll see what the placement looks like, see if we need to take any out or add any in. Let's see what it looks like. Let's do these ones first. Most of these are just starting to open, so they're not fully open yet, so they look a bit more like almost sort of closed roses with a few little petals peeping out. So now I've got that, we need something down here because it looks really bare. So I'm going to put in some lower ones. In there. It's a bit hard to probably make them out at the moment because everything's overlapping, but that's fine. So that's okay. So we've got two there in the middle. You don't want to have it too low near the base of where they enter the vase. You want it so they look fairly realistic. Going to draw in the heart for the vase, middle there. So that's what we've got so far. So now I'm going to paint them in. So I think I'm going to start with the stems. That would be easy to distinguish where they are. I'm just going to grab a drink quickly. Right, while I've got the small brush out, I'm going to do the little heart for the jug. Please let me know if there's any problem with the video. I can see there's 3 of you watching, and I'm hoping that you can see what I can see, which is the drawn roses on there now. Let me refresh that one. Just see what's happening. The only annoying thing about Ustream is the ads, but that's okay. So hopefully you can still see what I'm seeing. I'm going to go in and paint the heart that I always put on my... I always manage to find putting a heart somewhere on my paintings. This is my little kind of signature style. Excuse me. So this is pink suede. So I'm just gonna paint that in on the jug heart, And I actually might use this colour for the roses. I'll see, because I've done something similar before with a different background, so I don't want to do totally the same thing. Let's see what colours I've got. I think red would be too in your face, and it's not really in keeping with my palette, so it won't be red. Ivory would be too close to the background colour. Let's see. Let's go in and do the stems and the leaves anyway, while I make my mind up. So being careful not to go over the roses where they overlap. This is just the base colour. So we've got a leaf there, and one here. And some rose there, a stem, two stems there. Another rose head there, one up here. You want some overlap to make it more realistic. Just make sure you, like here, the rose will be in front of that leaf, so we won't paint the whole thing then. Let's see, that one goes down there, that one goes down there, so there'll be another stem there. Got one here, and one here. There's a leaf that goes behind there. Another stem there. Another leaf. And you can see that this one needs another leaf on there, so I think I'll put one in there. And one in there. And one in there. One in there. I think that's okay. So let that dry. Put some highlights and shading in those in a little while. Let's see if there's any questions. Hello. Hello, Lottie Man girl. Nice to have you here. Do I like to use watercolours? And the video is streaming great. Excellent, that's really good news. Thank you so much. I have done some watercolours. I can show you one that I'm actually most proud of because I don't do them very often. Just a second. While that's drying, I can be showing you this. This is one of my favourite ones that I've done. Hopefully, oh, just a second. Let's just see what you can see. Right, here we go. This is a little farmhouse piece I did. I was practicing for a new series of greetings cards where I did some watercolour, little watercolours for greeting cards, and that's one that came out particularly well. I used the dip ink pen, black ink and watercolours. I actually find watercolours quite difficult to use, so I'm mostly taught, or self-taught really I suppose, in acrylics, but I have dabbled with watercolours, and also I did my my popular watercolour rabbit as well. See if I can find, just a sec, see if I can find a card with that on. That's one of my most popular designs. Should have one. They're all sold. Here it is. One left. Here we go. My little rabbit. I'm quite proud of him. He's been very popular and one of my favourite pieces that I've done in watercolour and ink pen. So yeah, I might dabble in the future in doing some watercolours, and you never know, you might see it on this project. So thanks for asking that. It's great to have the interaction here, so thank you. Right, so let's get back to this piece. The green should have dried by now, so I might just go in and finish those stems and leaves off first, and then we can get cracking on the actual rosebuds and decide what colour to use on those. So I'm going to go back in with the green. This green is pine needle green. It's quite a dark green, because I think roses tend to have quite dark foliage anyway. So I'm just going to go in with the second coat, and then while it's still fairly wet, I'm going to add in the shading and highlights. And if you've got a question, feel free to type it in the chat. While I'm still quite new, it's easier for me to check the chat and be able to answer your questions. So that's really cool. As it gets a bit busier, I might need your help in helping me with seeing those. So we'll see how it goes, but for now we're just starting out, so it's all good. If you would like to see me paint anything in particular, then please feel free to let me know. I'm always open to suggestions, and you never know, you might see me paint it live on Ustream. The live stream will be as long basically as it takes me to paint one piece, so probably about Let's see, we're just over the hour mark now and we're almost done. It's probably another half an hour maybe. Right, so that's the green gone in. Now we're going to go in with brown, the earth brown again. So we've got the shadows coming in on this side, so make sure we put that on the same side, even for the stems. So just a little bit here and there. It's just a suggestion of shadow that you're putting in. You're not trying to put in lots of detail. Not sure how well you can see that. I'll show you in a minute what I'm doing, a bit closer up. So it's probably hard to pick it up, but you've got the brown on the right side of all the stems and the foliage. Then I'm going to wash my brush out and I'm going to go in then with some white for the highlight. Make sure the brush is fairly dry. So then you want to put the highlights on the opposite side of where your shadow's going. Again, it's just a suggestion of light. You're not trying to put in much detail. Oh, I'm really glad we've got the comments starting to come in. That's really great. Thank you very much for that. That's really exciting. Nice to know that I'm not alone sitting here painting. Oh, thank you very much, Lottie Langale. He is quite cute. Right, so that's the highlights put in. I know that Lottie Langale's been also doing some art classes. I've seen on her Facebook that she's been doing some life drawing classes, which is really fun. I've been getting back into that as well a little bit, and it's certainly a challenge when you haven't done it in a while. So good luck with those classes, and I look forward to seeing more of your art on Facebook. So now we're on to the flower buds. So I think, let's see, we still need a bit of pink on that heart and some shade on there. You can see I'm putting off making a decision. Let's get that done so I don't forget it later. And a bit of shading on there. And then a little bit of highlight, and that's that done. Right, now I think it needs something to really make it stand out, so it's going to have to be pink, I think. Now, Could use this pink, might be a little bit too bright. This one is blush pink. I could do a mixture of pink and white ones, that would be different. Let's have a go and see how it comes out, because as it's acrylic we can always paint over it, so let's have a go. This one's quite bright, this pink, so we'll have to see. Right, let's start up here. We're just blocking in the colour first, of the shape of the rose. I think it's going to need to be the other pink. Maybe white. Or maybe all of them. Let's see. Let's dry that off a bit. Now, let's go in with this pink suede. This is more vintage pink anyway, which I prefer. So I'll go over that. See how easy it is if you do something you're not happy with, you can just go over it and it won't show up. So, let's see, let's do... I think I might do pink and white, see how that turns out. Let's do pink one down here. Right, so we'll put white ones in there, white one there, and pink one here. White, 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 and I think I'll put the pink. It gets to this point and I think, oh, I still got quite a bit to do, but actually once you get to this point it does come together really quickly, so we're nearer to the end than it probably seems. We've just got some shading to put in on these roses, and then the finishing touches I used charcoal pencil, and then we're done. So not too long. Hopefully this length of show is okay. You're enjoying it, and it's not too long, or maybe it's not long enough. You tell me. See what you think. You know what, now that this is in, I can see that I've missed something. I think I'm supposed to have one here, and since I've got lots of pink, I'm going to put that in there as white. So I've missed that one, and that looks like it needs a stem put in as well. So I'll do that. I think it's there, and it comes down there. I just need to put in a little line there, so you can see where that goes. That's better. It joins it up properly now. Let's give it a bit of a blast. Okay. Now we can go in with another layer and get that shading in. So first of all, put in the pink. Now this painting, when it's finished, will be available tonight. My emails go out at 6:30 British summertime, and that's London. So if you're on the email list, you'll be able to view the final piece, and the option is there to purchase it if you like to. All my paintings from the 100 Days of Paintings project are at a very special discounted rate, so that's another incentive for you to sign up. If you aren't signed up on the list yet and you'd like to be, simply go to my website, nikijacksonart.com. That's Niki, nikijacksonart.com, and you can find the link for 100 Days of Paintings, and that will tell you how to sign up. And that's it really. I send it out every day, Monday to Friday, at 6:30. Pretty much spot on most days, unless I'm having a bad day and then it's a bit later, but it's usually around that time. And yeah, you can purchase through email, and I'll send you a PayPal invoice, or I add the paintings to the website a day or so after now, and you can purchase that way as well. But that's if it's still available. If someone hasn't beaten you to it. So now I'm going to put in some shading with a suggestion of where the petals are, going in dark, and then I'll lighten it up once they're in. Again, you're just putting in suggestion of shading. Wash my brush and then go over with pink, which will help to blend in the brown. You don't want to blend it in too much though, so it disappears, so just go over it lightly. Some of the craft paints are more opaque, and some of them are more transparent, so these ones are fairly opaque, so you need to be careful that you're not covering up what you've already done. So you can just about see there the brown is showing through. So now we're going to go in with some white for highlights again. And that will be on the opposite side. My brush is too wet. Opposite side to the shading. Again, adding in just a suggestion of light. So that's the pink one's done. Now it probably doesn't look like roses that much at the moment, but wait till we get the charcoal pencil in and it will. So now we're going on to shading the white ones. So because these are white, we can either go in with brown for the shading, which I sometimes do, or we can use the Titan buff. It depends what kind of look you want. If you really want a stark white rose, then I would probably suggest that you use the brown. Or if you don't mind a sort of off-whitish finish, I would go with the Titan buff, which I think that's what I'm going to do to keep it nice and soft. So this is the golden acrylic Titan buff. I'm going to go in on the side there for shading. I might just add a tiny little bit of brown just to balance it, because obviously these roses are already white, so we can't add highlight with white. So if we add that tiny bit of brown, it just balances the shading a little bit more. And if you do a little bit too much, you can just go over it like that. So that's the roses done. Now I just need to add a little bit of another little bit of green and another bit of shading on that little stem that I forgot earlier. So that was just here. And it's a little bit of green, touch of brown, just the brush, and then a touch of white, which you might not even really see because it's so close to that flower bud. Right, now this is where it all starts to come together. We're at the charcoal pencil stage now. This is the fun bit. Not that the other bit's not fun, but you know what I mean. So this is what I use. It's a regular charcoal pencil, needs sharpening a bit. I used my craft knife to do that, so just a second. Right, now let's put the lid on that. Okay, so we're going to go in and basically draw around everything, but not with a harsh line. So we want it quite soft. So I'm going to go in and draw around. I'm going to add in a little bit of extra shadow for the table. And then I'm going to draw around that. I'm only doing this very lightly. You don't want thick black lines really, unless that's the look that you're going for. All the paint needs to be dry at this point, and as it's acrylic, it probably is now, because it dries pretty fast. If not, you can blast it with the heat gun first. Right. Drawing the suggestion of the stems. Got a leaf there. Drawing in the petals. There's a leaf there. And one there. Let's just check the chat and see if there's any more comments. Hello to the new viewers, thank you for joining me. We're almost at the end now, but if you've missed most of it and you'd like to see what I've been doing, then you can check out the recorded version, which will be up pretty much straight away after this. If you find that you get some charcoal pencil on there that you don't want, you can just use a rubber to get that off. This is today's painting for 100 days of paintings, and that will be available, like I said earlier, tonight through my email list. You can get on the list if you go to my website, nikijacksonart.com, and all the paintings from the 100 Days of Paintings project are available at a very special discounted rate. So it's a nice opportunity for you to get a piece of art that is an original and a very special price. Just adding in details a little bit. So there we go, this is what it looks like with the charcoal pencil added. Let me lift it up to show you a bit better. It's pretty effective. Now, sometimes when I've added charcoal pencil I will smudge it, and sometimes I smudge all of it, and sometimes I leave it as it is. Now those roses look pretty good as they are, and don't want to smudge them too much because I might lose the definition that I've got on them. I'm definitely going to smudge the shading here, so I'm just basically using a cotton bud, which is like a Q-tip in America. Show you that. It's the best way to smudge it. It's nice and soft. And I'm going to soften the lines a little bit around here. And again, if you find that it's smudged it a bit too much and you don't like it, you can easily rub it out with an eraser. So I think this bit here is a little bit too smudgy, so I'm going to take that out. And in here. And there. And then I'm just going to basically tickle the roses so they smudge a little bit, so they match in with the rest, but without losing all the definition we've just put in. And there we go, I just need to sign it now. So I'm going to do that with my golden acrylic burnt umber light. So thank you very much to all those who've joined me today. I really appreciate you stopping by. And I hope you'll stop by again next time. Like I say, I won't be here next week because we'll be away on holiday, but I'll be back the first week of May on the Tuesday. So I'm just going to sign it. And there we go. That's done. This and the others will be available on the email list, like I said. I'm going to do 2 others to match in with this series. That doesn't stop you buying this one if you'd like. You don't have to buy the others, it's up to you. But I'm going to do 2 more, one tomorrow and one Thursday. And I might do different flowers in those ones. So let's give you a final shot of the finished piece. The colours are a lot prettier in real life. The lighting's not brilliant in here. And these will probably fit in a regular photo frame that you can get anywhere. So these are 3x4, so let me see, 3x4, you could probably put a mount on and get them in a 4x6. So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your comments, Lottie Nan Girl. That's a great start for us. And I hope you'll join me next time. Thanks again. See you soon. Bye.